Right, that's enough messing about outside for today. Just getting things ready before the winter kicks in. We're about halfway through October now, and you can tell the temperature's been a lot cooler today. I think the lowest we saw today was maybe about 8 degrees. You can tell it's cooler, and now it's gone dark. What time is it? It's about 7:30, and it's pretty well dark now. And yeah, I'm not enjoying these darker nights. Speaking of which, I went and got myself one of these. What's that? Well, it's a Klarus CL2 folding camping light. Let me tell you about it. This is ace, this. So let's have a look in the box and see what you get with this Klarus CL2 folding camping light. Okay, so inside you get a nice little bag, which I presume has got the lantern in it, and then there's another inside box. Weird. Get that out. Okay, put that down there for now. So that's the box opened. You've got a little pouch thing, bag, which I presume has got the light or lantern in it. An instruction manual, which I've already looked at, so it's quite straightforward really. I'm not going to go into that, so I'll just put that over there for now. And they give you the charging cable. It looks like it's a nice decent long one. It's type C at that end, normal USB at that end, and they've given you a type C to some sort of iPhone or Apple product adapter if you want to downgrade from Android, or it's up to you. Okay, so let's open the pouch and see what's in here. It's got their logo on it. It looks quite nice, sort of velvety. Very nice. And here we have it. There's the Klarus CL2 lantern. Let's have a look what it does. A thing of beauty, isn't it? As soon as I seen one, I thought, I've got to have that. I want one of them. And then that was before I seen what it did. And then once I seen what you can do with it, I thought I've definitely got to have one of these. So, they described this as the folding camping light, which, to a point, yeah, that is true. But I think it's much more than just a camping light, this thing. So here, you've got 4 sides, and each one of them is loaded with LEDs. You have a on-off switch there. It's multi-function. And then there's a torch at the bottom. And then here, just open that if I can, yeah. There's your ports. One port to charge it up, but another port to charge your devices up, like your phone or your tablet. Because this, it's not just a torch, it's a power bank. So before we go into all the different functions, I'll give you some of the specs. And because my memory is not what it used to be, I'm going to read it off the box, okay? So on the side of the box, it tells you that this has got a lithium-ion battery, and it's 10,400 milliamp hours, right? So that's its battery, but it's a power bank as well. It's got Type-C charging, and it mentions that it's got a power bank function, 1 meter impact resistance. That means if you drop it higher than 1 meter, you stand a chance of breaking this thing. And it's waterproof to IPX5. That's all cool. And then looking on the back, you've got some more specs. It's got the model CL2. It's made by Klarus. Yep, got that right. It's made of ABS plus PC, whatever that is. And its dimensions are 2.2 inches by 2.2 inches by 8.74 inches. The maximum output is 750 lumens, and its input voltage is 2.8 volts to 4.2 volts. Battery capacity 10,400 milliamp hours, which I've already mentioned. Waterproof, IPX5, and its weight, for those who are interested in that type of thing, is 420 grams. Right, let's see what it does. You can fold these down to use it as a downward lighter, and even include a nice little hook for you to hang it from something. And there's a screw thread, so you can mount this to a tripod and use it to light up whatever it is you're looking at. So we'll just turn it back into a lantern. Okay, I'm going to do 2 examples of what it's like when it's working and what all the different functions are. I'm going to do one with the lights on in here, so you can just see what I'm doing, and then we're going to do it with the lights off. Anyway, let's have a go with the lights on. So here's the button, and this works everything. Now it's got 1 press, puts it on its low light, 2 press, next stage up, 3 press, brighten again, and then the 4th press gives it daylight. Okay, so we got, that's its lowest, that's its medium, that's its brightest, and that's daylight. You've also got the torch on the bottom, and you access that with 1 long press. So you hold it and that goes on, and then if you press it again, it's an emergency beacon. Press it again. Hang on, I'll have to go through the sequence, because after a while, if you press it once, it'll turn itself off. So long press for the lights, emergency beacon, and then you've got an SOS function. And I think that's it on that one. We'll try it again. Yeah, it's off now. So there's 3 functions on the long press: torch, emergency beacon, and then distress signal. The other thing is, it's got some indicator lights there. I don't know if you can see them. I'll show them in the dark. That shows you how much charge you've got left in this thing. 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. That's what all the functions do, and that's what it's like in the light. This room's already lit up, so now we're going to do it in the dark. So I'm just going to put it over here on the shelf, and we'll go through the functions. So this is it as a lantern. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then daylight. Okay, so lower setting, next setting, highest setting, and then daylight. Off. And then there are those 4 lights that light up and show you the state of charge. Let's see what it's like as an overhead light that you could hang from something. So we'll start with the lowest and cycle through them. So I'm just going to hold it above my head. Lowest, next one up, highest setting, and then daylight. Brilliant that, isn't it? Amazing. Right, off. And then I'll just cycle through the long press functions. So we'll have torch, emergency beacon, and then SOS. So here's the torch, beacon, I'll cycle through again to get to the SOS function. So long press, torch, beacon, and then SOS. That's its lighting functions. Now just one thing left to try. I've plugged in the USB cable there. Okay, undone that little flap thing at the back, and the lights are lit up. The little indicator lights, I don't know if you can see them in there. Let me turn this round. So those lights are lit up. And I'll take the Type C and plug it into my phone. It's charging my phone up. I don't know if you can see that. Right, so I've plugged the USB into one of my solar boxes, and I've plugged the Type C cable that came with this into the charging port. And as you can see, the charging light's flashing there. Don't know if you can see it in this light. So those lights not only show you the state of charge of this, but they also show you the state of charging. They really have thought this thing out really well. So the Klarus CL2 folding camping light, for those that like freezing their nuts off in a field at this time of year. Yeah, But no, it's not. It's not just that, you know. It's not. Why did I buy one? I gave up freezing my nuts off in a tent in the field years ago. Tell you why I bought this. We get blackouts here sometimes, especially during the winter. I think this is a great emergency light. It's got so many different functions. As well as a camping light, it's an emergency light. But I think you can use it as a work light, an inspection light, a warning light, an emergency beacon, a torch, an emergency power bank to charge your phone up. It's not just a camping light. It's many things, this. It's also really well made. It feels good. It doesn't feel cheap. And when you see one, you just want one. But no, I do think they've thought this out really well. It's got so many functions. And it's a really handy thing to have. Now, new, these are about 54 quid. This is the 10,400 milliamp hour one. They do a 750 milliamp hour one. I think that one's about 34 quid. But I didn't pay that for this. I was lucky. So it's 54 quid. Amazon had it in a one-off sale for 34. And I had, what did I have? 30 quid in vouchers. So it ended up costing me about 4 quid or 8 quid or something. But I even think it's worth the full price. I even think it's worth looking at the smaller one. Because I think physically it's the same size as this. But it's not. It's as powerful on all the settings. It just won't last as long. Now, how long does this last? Well, I charged it up about 3 weeks ago, and I normally mess around with it every night because it's new. It's like a new toy. But on the low setting, so the first light setting, which is that one, okay, just turn it off. It'll last for 60 hours. 60 hours, that's amazing. So say you had it on 10 hours at night, you get about 6 days out of it, just as a light. On the higher settings, I think you get about 4.5, 5 hours out of it, which still is not bad for the amount of light it kicks out. But in a darkened room, it might not be showing up as well on my video. The lowest settings, you know, that last for 60 hours isn't more than enough in an emergency situation. And if you knew that the power was coming back on after a few hours, then yeah, use the higher settings. But this is a fantastic light, and I'm probably going to get myself another one. Yeah, let there be light.